Everybody and their uncle, every brand makes what is known, and there's a lot of off-brands, they make what is known as a quick lock system. And you'll see when I pull this back, you see this little groove here and this hex? It's like a bit tip. I'll pull this out, okay? They're all based off of a 1/4 inch across the flats. Okay, and so isn't this a 1/4 inch across the flat? Do you know the Central Tech system, this is the Festool system, looks similar, but it's got an elongated hex here, and that is so daggone important. Okay, I've always called these, I learned this years and years ago, we call this the power hex groove, because when you put something in here, and hopefully, Big D, can you zoom in here? Okay, can you zoom into this part right here? Yep. Okay, you're going to see little ball bearings. There's 3 of them. So when I insert this in here like this, I just depress this like this, it goes in, and those ball bearings go around the groove. Okay, and as I feel this, it's just locking on the groove. And that can be problematic, and I'll show you why in a few minutes. I think I have a good demonstration of that. Well, and where this goes, and because on the T18, it's got a chuck that proprietary. No, I'm not a proprietary. It's got there's no FastFix stub. Look how far out that is now. You got the bit. Okay, now this is the system that's out there. This is not Central Tech, but you lock it into the chuck, and then you lock your bit out here. Okay, and I'm just going to ease that in there so it's sitting in there. Okay, so I have that. Now, this is the Festool system. I got a T18, okay, +3, where this is what we call the FastFix stub. This, wow, I have too much set up. This is Central Tech. You know why you can tell that? Because look at Central Tech. I'm just kidding. When you put it on the FastFix stub, now Big D, if you look down in here, you'll see 3 ball bearings. See them? They lock right on here, the FastFix stub. Okay, but as I flip this over, and I'm going to say you can't see this, but inside here where the 1/4 inch across the flats goes in, okay, there's 3 more ball bearings. And you know what I'm going to do, Big D? I think I'm going to have you zoom over here, because I got this graphic right here. Rick got this for me today. You got it? Where if we look, this is the one bearing that goes on the FastFix stub. Inside the Central Tech, you got another bearing which locks right here. But here is why it's so important. You see this right here on the FastFix? This kind of shows it. I could put a 1/4 inch across the flat, 1 inch bit tips. You can get anywhere. We sell them. They're in the catalog. We have all the different flavors. But think about it. This sits right inside there, right? It's a better transfer of torque. Instead of just locking on 3 ball bearings, you got 3 in here, 3 in here that lock there, so there's less run out. Okay, a better transfer of torque. So as I slip that in all the way to the green ring, you get 0, I won't say 0, little or no run out. Now here is the other thing that's wicked cool about it. Look how you can get in tighter quarters. There's no chuck here. This graphic, I think, shows it as well. Big D, you got this? Where here's Central Tech and here's a typical chuck right here. Look how much shorter space you can get into. All right, now, let's see if I can do this correctly. I have a bit around here. Oh, right here. I want to compare apples to apples, okay? About the same size, right? I'm going to put this in, and hopefully you can see this. But you see this right here? Look at this one. I can see it. See how that's wobbling? Where that one has little or no wobble. Okay, so you'll get a cleaner hole. It sounds funny, but you'll get less run out. So if I'm just going to use this, I don't know if this is the size of these bits, I didn't check. But if you have a 1/4 inch hole, say here, okay, that little extra wobble is not going to be as precise as this one, less run out. So I think I explained that okay. Do you know how I can tell? is when I used to teach class, I used to see people going like this. And I'm looking at Gage, I'm calling you out, and you're going, I think I understand that, Sedge. Woo! So that is the difference between the regular power hex groove and Centrotech. It seats, there's more surface area that's making contact on that shank, but also it equates to more stability. You can feel it. I wish I could just have you in this room with me right now and you could tell the difference. Okay, you could see it. Hopefully on camera you guys saw that. Okay, good. Now let's talk. Let's start with the basics. Okay, in the catalog on the web, you'll see these bits. Okay, in metric, this is a 6.5. It's funny because these wear out, don't they? But what's cool is you can also get replacement bits. And I wanted to open this up so you can see this. There's a little hex right here. Let me just open that up. And what's nice about it, I think is nice about it, okay, as I pull it out, there's a flat right there. See it? Okay, so when I put that on, it locks it on. Now here is one of the really neat things about this. When you take and I'm going to take this out, say you don't have a quick change kit, and like I said, everybody makes them, okay? Here's another one I got just to demonstrate. But when I take a regular drill bit, say I'll just take this one, look. What's the name of the game? If you don't have a locking, you'll get bit slippage. You've probably done this before. You're drilling something, then all of a sudden you go to put it in reverse to take it out and the bit stays in the hole, right? I know that because Gage is nodding. Okay, good. You're going to be in here every week now with us. Okay, so you have no bit slippage with the Centrotech system. You just take it, you put it in, seat it all the way. There's usually a green ring, and now you can drill. And it's just so smooth. It's almost like working with my drill press because I know I get little or no run out on that as well, and I get a positive torque. Okay, so that's one of the bits I wanted to cover. That is a split point. Okay, you can use it for wood and steel. Another one that we have is this. It's a brad point. Okay, and this is for wood only. And if you have a crosshair like this, okay, and you need to get it exactly in the center, this is the big diff. Set it all the way in. And I can take that, I can put my spur point on there and drill. Okay, and it's really nice is I'm kind of defying things because when I'm drilling, I'm actually in wood. This is the CXS, I have it on drill, but I have it on 2. So I should have it on, it's a higher RPM. And always remember this, when you're drilling, the higher the RPM, the less torque. So if I was struggling getting through there, the lower the RPM, more torque, okay? Or 2 as fast as that's if you get paid by the hour. And if you get, if you get paid by the job, I put it in 1 if I get paid by the hour. Okay, it's just a little bit, I'm just kidding. Okay, it's more torque. Hey, Mo! So there's the different bits. Now, over here, and this is sold in a set. These, I have used these so much at home, inside cabinets and tight quarters. We have this set of stubby brad points, and right when you think, oh, I got tons of brad points, whatever, I end up using these all the time because I get in really, really tight spaces. So look at this. I just used this the other day. There's a 5mm one inside a really tight cabinet. Okay. Check that out. Look how short that's. But you know what? I'm going to grab a tape on that just so you guys can see this. That from point, because of Centrotech now, not in a drill chuck, from Centrotech, I'm 200, tops 220mm, and that's, I'm eyeballing it out here. That's really short. Okay, oh, US, hang on. 8 3/4. So, there you go. So those are the bits. By the way, You get replacements. You have replacement bits for these. When you see this, make sure you order the ones that are in that category, okay? Because I want to go. I use these, tons of these. There's two different sizes of these, and when I different sizes, the countersink and bit combination. This one, and the difference is the size of the bit. This one is 4.5 millimeter, and this one is 3.5. I'm going to take this one, okay? And when I say make sure you're ordering replacement bits in the right spot, it's because they're different from these. And they're also different from this bit that I'll show you in a few minutes. That's a 5 millimeter. Okay, so this part right here, and I'll demonstrate this. This is, have you ever done a countersink and you needed exactly the same, every one of them and consistent, doing a cabinet, right? But I know people who control the depth sometimes with a piece of blue tape. You can control it with this, but there's also another situation where sometimes there's these, I've seen these before, where they mar the cabinet or mar the board. This is a non-marring stop. Okay, there's two hexes, and hopefully we can see this. There's one here and one here. This one controls the depth or the size of the countersink, and the one inside that I can access is to bring the bit out or in, but I want to take it apart so you can see it, so I can show you how I set this up. I'm going to take it out, and you're going to see a flat right on the shank right here. That's what I aim when I'm setting it up toward that hex, and they line up perfectly, and that one does as well. So this one I can adjust, because look, that's the bit right there. I can control the length. So I can take this and move it out. And there's no flat on here because the flutes of the countersink, I like to line up with the flutes here. So say I'll take it like this, see how I line up the flute there? And then I just tighten it. So you'll see. And I could take it like that. So I wanted to go a little bit further out or into the board. And now what I'm going to do, depending on the size that you want to countersink, okay, say I'm putting in a screw like this, or I'm going into whatever, a board, I want to control the countersink. I could take that now and gauge it here. Oh, hey, there he is. I'm going to gauge it. Not bad, huh, Minnie?
Good job.
I know I'd work it in.
Yes, you did.
Okay, so there we go. I'll tighten that. Don't lose this. You get one of these with it. This is a $300 hex key. Don't lose it. He even laughs at my jokes. I like him. Okay, so I'm going to take it like this, and I'll just tighten it up. There we go. It's wicked easy. Put it in. I'll bring it to Centro Tech. I'll take this out. Beauty of this. And let's just take it right here. Oh, get a little speed on there. And look at that. I can get it precise. If I needed more, I can get more. So there is drill bit countersink combo, and you just have to determine what size bit or what size hole you want. So once again, 3.5 and 4.5. Now, we have two countersinks. They're single flute countersinks. And say I need to, depending on, once again, the size of the bugle, okay, or the size of the head. I could take this. I'm just going to take it right over here. Say I need to bring this a little bit wider. I could take it just like this. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. This point went right in there. Look, I can do it with this one. I put a little countersink. We have it this size, okay, but also smaller. And it doesn't, what's nice about this, it doesn't, how do you say, it doesn't slip. It's just really solid, stable. Whew. Okay, here we go. Next. This is in the part of the catalog. I had to double check. I think it's in the catalog with the hammer drills. These are nut runners. Socket adapters. So this is a 3/8 socket adapter. Look, it has the Central Tech. All right, and this one is a 1/4 inch. So what's really cool about this is that new ratcheting sustainer comes with a set of metric and imperial 1/4 inch drives. So I can take that, put it in like this. It's ball detented, and guess what I got? a great setup for running sockets. Okay, make sure you use the clutch on this, especially if you're using the PDC or the TPC. Okay, let's go over here and let's look at this kit. This is the Conturo accessory kit. Just about everything in this kit you will probably need, especially this. This is the clipper. It comes with a roller. Nobody knows what that's for. You're going to know today. I'm going to take my time explaining this. I think I've covered the scraper. All right. It comes with 20 pieces of 80 by 133 paper. It comes with the hard pad. That's 80 by 133. It comes with what we call fleece, which is basically a Scotch-Brite pad. You're going to see how all of this works. Yes, I'm going to cover how to polish banding with this. And it comes with this, the hard felt pad. Oh, the pad. It's heartfelt. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, never mind. I haven't used that one in years. So I'm going to be going through a training with you, and I'm just going to put that back in there. Get these out of the way. Okay, now here's the important part to pay attention. In North America, it does come with the 5000 speed cut or 5010 speed cut. You know this from the polishing videos we've done. Okay, but this in the kit, it doesn't come with it in Canada. Apologize for that. It also comes with this plate, and I'll show you how to do that, with some felt pads for surfaces that you don't want really scratched too much. And it comes with this. I call it one thing, but I had to look it up. We call it the Cassette magazine. I call it the banjo, but it's a Cassette magazine. I want to show you how this works. Okay, so I'm just going to set this over here because I think I got basically everything set up in their stations. Let's start over here with the Cassette magazine. I got my Conturos all set up, and you still, and this is where a lot of people will look at this and go, oh, I can just drop a roll in here and go to town. Absolutely not. There's no guillotine on the Conturo. You still have to pre-cut it. So I always go like this. I roll it out like this on this banding. And okay, I got plenty of banding. Now, what you have to do is, this is where the glue goes on. This is like a fleece back. This is 1 millimeter thick, pre-finished Mapele edge banding. Okay, so the banjo, I'm going to bring it up here. You got these two little pieces, these two little eyes. And you got this lock, unlock, and lock position. So I'm going to take it like this. I tilt it in, bring it down, and I lock it in. Let me just take that. All right, now, if you understand your Conturo, the glue, if I had this in a normal roll and fed it in, the glue would go on here. But I need to get the glue. So what you have to do is you have to reverse wrap it. So I always take that banding I've done and I go like this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It worked really well yesterday. I just go like this. I wrap it all together. In other words, what this does is this supports the material from I could have run it, no problem, on this 8-foot length. But the inherent problem is it would get all caught up. Holy macanoli. So remember, the glue's going to go on here, and that's how it works with the Conturo. So make sure it's adjusted properly, like I've shown you in episode 19, like this, and you just hit the go button. And you're going to see how it grabs, and you can do the entire run all the way down, and it's nice and compact right here, and it doesn't pick up dust as you're running it. Okay? So there you go. That is the magazine covered. I'm just going to pull it out like this really quick. I'm going to unlock it. You can preload them. You're ready to go. Boom. So what if, the next piece I'm going to show you is, what if you're banding a really nice high finish, and the plate with the Conturo is this. It's a phenolic resin, and that may scratch a surface. So inside this packet, I'm just going to swing over and get a brand new one, is I take the plate off to do this, comes this piece. It comes with 4 Torx, number 15 Torx bits, and this. And sometimes I wish we had Feel-O-Vision in here, because these are really tiny hooks. So what you put on there, and you can get replacements for this, is this felt. And that goes onto the plate, and that will not mar the surface whatsoever. That's no mar. No mar Garcia Para. Hey, that's all everybody out there for Red Sox Nation. No mar. Okay, good. So there you go. It goes right on the plate, and you won't scratch the surface. Hey, does that sound good? You won't scratch the surface. Okay, I could work that in. Okay, next. When you get a Conturo, I will always tell everybody, this is the must-have. It comes in the kit. So, there's a lot to this. I thought about this yesterday. I could do all kinds of applications. I'm going to do one with it today. Okay, because I want to show you the setup for an inside corner. But I think we should do another episode on Conturo because I get asked this question. So next month or the month after, 2 years from now, I'll show you how to do circle cutting with this, or ellipse cutting with this for edge banding. But I'm going to step over here so we can look at it. And yesterday I did a post on Festool Sedge about doing an inside corner. So to do an inside corner, I'm going to start here and come out. But I need to start with a perfect 90. So I'm going to take the clipper, and this is the part here that clips, and that right there is basically your standard, as I call it, or my benchmark. So I'm going to take it like this, and you see how I'm going to bring that banding, this edge here right up against here, and that will clip it at a perfect 90. Now, when I used to do this back in Fort Lauderdale in my shop, I had a paper cutter, boom, and I would cut it perfectly at 90. Now, for all those people who wanted to see me actually do it, I'm going to do it right now. And there's a couple of things I want to coach you on. I've always coached people when they do inside corners. Is, Chris, you're going to have to get in here on the DRO, the digital readout. This trigger right here, okay, is your speed control. It's not this. This is your speed control. And if we look like here, there's two arrows. When somebody says, why do you go slow with this? I tell them inside corners, or if I get paid per hour. Okay. Why? Now I'm going to feed this in. Once again, I'm using 1 millimeter. I'm going to back it off. You know what? Let me set this up first. This roller, this is your feed. Oh, let's get down here, Chris. This here, don't ever touch this. This here is your feed roller, okay? But that is too far away from the inside corner. So what this does, this helps you pin it. And let me just get it in here like this. You know what? It's so tough for me doing things backwards. There you go. See? Now you have two rollers. But that actually helps you put pressure inside. So I'm going to start slow. I got my 90 right here. I'm going to feed it in. And I make one of these. I always have one of these. I don't always need them. But sometimes when I'm doing this and I have a long run, I'll go just like this on the inside corner, that point, just to make sure I have perfect pressure right in there. So I'm going to start right here, and you're going to see how slow this comes out. Okay, you got to really pay attention to this, because you got to, once you start, right, there you go. Now you see how slow that is? And I'm going to take this, push it right in there, and you're going to see, and now I can start it up and go faster. See that? And there you go. And that roller helps me pin it in there. And Chris, can you come down here? Look how that is just right in there, super duper crisp. Good?
Yep.
All right, so there you go. That's how you do an inside corner. And then I can come right over here with the clipper or the guillotine, and boom, I got a perfect inside corner edge. Whew. How are we doing on time? We're doing pretty good? Okay, good. Excellent. Okay, inside corner. Now, let's start over here, because a lot of people over the years have asked me to do polishing. I always do it at trade shows. I'm going to start right here, because this is, I don't know, did I do this in Lost in the Catalog? The scraper? Okay, so this is scraper. It's solid carbide. All right? In other words, it's milled perfectly at 90. I use this all the time. Watch, I'll pop this off. I think I have a piece here to show you. This is going to be one of those episodes where I'm going to look around afterwards and go, did I cover everything? Okay, so I'm going to take it like that. I use this all the time at home to scrape glue, to scrape some boards. But check this out. If you hold it right, this is a killer scraper on its own merit. Okay? So there you go. Get rid of some milling marks real quick. But what we designed it for was for edge banding. And you always, and hopefully we can get a look at this. You see this right here? I took, and this is 2 millimeter thick banding, and I took a bit right here on the MFK EB. Now, I'm not going to trim today because I've done that with the MFK episode, okay? But you'll see on here that I have this insert tooling, and that's a 2 millimeter radius. The offering on those bits is a 1 millimeter, a 1.5 millimeter, a 2 millimeter, and a 3 millimeter for PVC. Always remember the tolerances for banding on the Conturo. In wood, it's 0.5 to 1 millimeter, no more. But on PVC, it's 0.5 all the way to 3 millimeter. So when I do this, I'm going to set it up, and let's trim some of that excess glue off. There's so much to the scraper. When you do it, hold it at an angle, and you'll see how that just comes up, all that excess. And that is super flush. Okay, and I'll just come over here, and just to clean it up, because I set my MFK, I'm going to go like this for my test with my fingernail. There's a little I left there. Okay, now the other thing, and Chris, make sure we get this. See where there's a 2 and a 1? I'm going to take that, and I think I've shown this. You know what? I think I'm going to grab it this way. I know it's awkward for me, but you can see it. I'm going to take it like this, and as I pull it, I can clean up some of that chatter, okay, on that radius. I can feel it, but boy, you guys can probably see it as I come back across, and I'm real cognizant I'm not scraping this plywood. I'm scraping those sometimes with a wicked sharp bit, you don't have a lot of chatter marks, but I'm just slowly scraping, and that's what the 2 and the 1 on there is. Okay, so you probably get it now, what the 2 and the 1 in the scraper, right? There's a little bit more that I want to show you. So, you know what? I'm going to scrape this side because I think this will look good on camera when I'm polishing. So I'm going to come back around and get this other side really quick. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to scrape it. And believe it or not, this is really easy to do. I kind of get right in here. I was feeling that that was a little heavy right there. So I'll come back and nail it like this. There we go. Absolutely perfect. And you can see how it's a little hazy right there. I'll come and clean that up. Perfect. Okay. So now, when we look at this here, this is a little hazy. So let's step into, boy, you're going to have a lot of cleaning up to do, Chris.
I know. That's the way it's looking.
I know, I'm telling you. Big D, you're shooting right down on here now, aren't you? Good. Let me grab Minnie. How you doing? You're sighing over there.
Oh, you know. I dropped them.
Me too. Okay, so this is the hard pad, 80 by 133. This is some paper that we're going to put on. Okay, and this is the first step in polishing. You know, maybe we can get this. There's a slight chatter in here. You see that on that radius? Maybe I didn't hit that area well enough, but I'm going to come over and I'm just going to eyeball that. And I'm slowly going to take it like this, and I'm going to go back and forth on that radius. Okay, come over here very gently. I don't want to mess with this flat too much. Now, there's some bandings that are just flat with no texture. That's okay. Just be aware of it. Then the next one I want to do is the next step is the fleece paper. This is the fine, or 800 grit. I think it's listed at 800 grit. And I'm slowly going to come over here, And you're gonna see how it's starting to come back a little, see it? It's a little shinier. I guess that's the best terminology. I'll hit this really quick, but I don't wanna remove what? That texture that's on there. I'll come back over here, get a little more of it. You know, I always look at this and I always wondered why we called it the perfect edge. But it's true, it is, because we could have just made the applicator, but what we did is we made a what? A complete system for finishing that edge. You don't have to go somewhere else to get polish. You don't have to go somewhere to get sandpaper. We have it all in one kit. Whew. Boy, that sounded actually pretty good, didn't it? Whoop, 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 whoop. I might do this for a living, Minnie. Okay, hey, so I'm gonna put this hard felt pad on. Hard felt, okay, never mind. Boy, it's that stick. I'm gonna get it like this, and let's get some polish on there. Now, this is speed cut. Just think of our polishes. I know we have orange, blue, and white. Just think of them as liquid sandpaper. I'm gonna put a little on here. Ooh, ooh, just like that. Okay, we'll get it right into the felt, and you're gonna see this come alive. Look at that.
Oh,
look at that.
Wow.
I paid him to say that. Okay, but look at that. Look how that's coming right up. Big D, that's coming up nice on camera. Okay, and that is what the polish is for. And it comes right up, cleans up, and look, I still have that awesome texture on there. But of course, I've broken the edge, and that's just normal in banding, like that. Let it dry for a couple minutes. I'm gonna grab a quick paper towel,